Hey, yo, y'all hear that? So you mean to tell me y'all hear nothing? Well, riddle me this then. Listen up, I got a story to tell. Mr. If you know type shit. Back when the banger once again, going hard with no excuses. No white flags. No peace talk. And no truces. If you know, let's go. So with that being said, y'all relax. Lay back in the make back. Put your mental on cruise control. And as always, watch me unload this fire, you underdig? So without no hesitation, no further ado, let me get right into the story. But hold up. If y'all rock with your man 50 grand and you watching this video, guess what I need y'all to do for me? I need y'all to hit that like button. Leave me a comment. Share the video to a family or a friend. And last but not least, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. So now, let me take you on this journey. So in part 3 of my last video, I just told y'all they had me as a sleeper on lockdown and Valdosta. I couldn't get no breaks. Like, show some love to a real one. But again, my file was jacked up. It was messed up. You feel me? Like, from all the assaults on inmates, assaults on officers, getting at the CERT team, putting that work in, getting the pack in, doing this and doing that, my file was jacked up, and they don't, like, when I go to different facilities, off the rip, they try to lock me down. So now, let me tell y'all where they sent me to. And I couldn't believe it. They sent me to a camp they call Sweet Dooley. And when I get there, like, I can't make this up. I'm kind of paranoid because I don't know where they're going to send me to. They're not telling me nothing, you feel me? So I'm just going to roll with the punches. So as soon as I get there, you dig, CERT team, they come out there. And normally when you see the CERT team, they come out there on some aggressive type shit, trying to intimidate you, talking reckless, trying to, get you right, you know what I mean? What I mean, get right, get you to be in accordance to, you know what I mean, as they say, being institutionalized. But that one this and this one that. So when we get off the bus, guess what one of the CERT teams say? Now, just because the CERT team said it, you know it's official. The CERT team said, hey, welcome to Sweet Dooley. So I'm in awe. I'm like, what the fuck he just said? The CERT team said, welcome to Sweet Dooley. I never had an introduction like that going to no camp in the 20 years that I've done. So when he said that, I'm like this, okay, well, let me pay attention. So they bring us in, and when we get in the intake room, you know, they go to inventorying our property. And guess what's going on? They in there playing music. The sergeants, the COs, the CERT team, they in there bobbing their heads to the music. You got some of the CERT team, they sagging their pants. You got the LTs, they got their hats turned to the right and the left. I'm like, where the fuck they done sent me to? Like he said, welcome to Sweet Dooley. So when they go through our property, again, I ain't had that much because they kept all my shit at Valdosta and I guess the room that they had everybody property in. So I go to stressing that immediately. I said, hey man, look man, I just came from Valdosta as a sleeper, man. I ain't got my property. He said, man, you ain't got to worry about no property here. He said, man, I promise you this. He said, you a hustler? So when he said it, I had to look to the left, look to the right, because I'm not used to the police and the administration talking to you like this. I'm thinking it's a setup. So I'm like, yeah, I do a little something. He like, shit, well, if you a hustler, you feel what I'm saying? He said, once you get to the dormitory, you gonna fit right in. He said, man, don't worry about that. He said, matter of fact, he said, I'm gonna be down there to see you. I'm like, all right, you feel me? So he inventoried the little property that I had. And again, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. You know what I mean? He barely looked through my shit. And the dude that was behind me, he had a boot cool shit. You feel me? He might have had like $300 store goods. Man, and 13 was like, all right, what you said you got? He asking the dude who property he's inventorying, he's asking him how many honey buns you got? How many deodorants you got? How many cocoa butter sticks you got? How many baby, like, he ain't even doing his job. He like, all right, check. He got the property sheet. All right, check. All right, go over there. Like, normally when you go to a turned up camp, that's aggressive, like Smith, Telfair, Waycross, Reedsville, things of that nature, 13 gonna take their time, you dig me, and inventory your property. But 13 here, they the total opposite. They ready to, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, this is a Fendi fact. They was on what we was on. And I'm gonna tell you about that in this story. So after they finished inventory by the shit, you dig, they said, man, look, y'all can put y'all shit in the car, you can carry it yourself. So I'm like, I got a little sack, so I'm like, shit, I'm gonna carry mine. So I get to the dormitory. As soon as I get to the dorm, it's turned all the way up to the max. You got dudes in there, they got a damn crate that they done cut at the bottom and taped up to the wall. You know, you got the top range and you got the bottom range. They got a damn cart taped up and they in there shooting basketball. They working on their 1-2, like this type shit. I'm looking like, I seen this before I went to dormitory. So soon as I get to the front of Salaport, they had this little chick working. So the 13 got what he say. I'll bring some fresh meat. So I'm like, what the, like this is, like the way he talking, this is chain gang lingo. You hear inmates try to intimidate other inmates that's new when they say fresh meat, but the 13 telling her, I'll bring you some fresh meat. So boom, I'm looking at him like, man, oh, fuck you on. You know what I mean? So she was like, okay, step up, what's your name? What's your name? So it was about like 4 of us went to the dormitory. So she checked everybody off, and you know what I mean? We walk in the dormitory. So, you know, me being me, I had to take me a glance. When we walked out, I turned back around and looked, like, damn, shorty had a little fatty, you know what I mean? But anyway, I go in the dormitory. Soon as I go in the dormitory, guess the first thing that I smell? La, 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 la. Boy, I smelled that Al Green. They ain't been trying to hide the smoke. When the 13 got there, like normally they say 13 when they walk, you know, dude try to get right, spray some pine saw in the air, you know what I mean? Mop a little bit, little razzle, little dazzle, some bleach. They ain't did nothing. So when I get to my cell, soon as I get there, you feel me? Now I'm watching my surroundings because again, just because the 13 said this sweet Dooley, this is still prison. So when I get to my cell, I got this cool ass white dude. So I get in there, I'm like, what's up? He said, man, what's up, homie? I'm like, yo, what the I'm not used to white boys telling, yo, what's up, homie? But come to find out, he was white, Italian, and Mexican, and he was cooler than the film. Tatted all in his face, you feel me? The reason I knew he was from LA, because he had LA on his eye, you dig? But anyway, he said, man, damn, I was wondering what's gonna give me a roommate, man. Yo, what's your name? I said, shit, my name Ghost, you dig? He said, shit, what you disappear? You like to disappear? So off top, I started laughing because, you know, in prison, dudes don't, you know, do too much laughing. But it's just his aura, his energy, and his introduction, and he just making a joke. And I'm a serious dude. Like, normally, like the old me, if it had said, like the old me, I'd have slapped the shit out because I'm thinking you're trying to clown me. You did. But just something about it, man. Like, I seen he wasn't causing no disrespect. So we shook hands. Boom. He said, shit, yo, you smoke? I'm like, hell yeah, I smoke. Man, I kid you not. The man went in his locker box and pulled out the whole thing of the Al Green. He said, man, and guess what he said? Hey, bro, welcome to Sweet Dooley. So I'm like, let me ask you a question. He said, man, look, you can ask me whatever you want to ask me. He said, man, but roll up. So the dude, he got Philly Blunts, Philly Titanics. He got like at least 7 different cigars. He got rolling paper. Like, and I'm looking at him like, bro, you got all your shit like this? He said, man, bro, this Sweet Dooley, man. He said, man, they don't do no shaking down. He said, man, you good. He said, you got a phone? I said, nah. He said, hold up. Man, the dude pulled his pillow back. Man, the white dude, man, I know I've seen over like 20-something phones. He got the phones, the Bluetooth for your ear type shit, you dig? He got the pigtails, the regular chargers. I'm like, I said, bro, this how y'all rock it? He said, man, bro, listen, you ain't got to worry about nothing, man. This Sweet Dooley. He said, but don't get it fucked up. He said, go down here. So he was like, he said, who car you in? So I'm like, what you mean, who car I'm in? So this is a West Coast and New York lingo. Far as my understanding and me doing time in the dirty South, this is not a terminology or a saying that they say. But basically what being in a person's car is who you rocking with, what you rep. So I told him what I told him, you dig? He said, oh. He said, bruh. He said, yo, Con, he said, I'm not gonna say they run shit, but they make a lot of noise around here. I'm like, well, what you mean make a lot of noise? He said, you gonna see. He said, I promise you. He said, before the night over, you gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, all right, no doubt. So I roll up. I get me a Philly Titanic. I put about a whole 7 in there. You know what I mean? Roll it up, you feel me? Go to smoking, you feel me? And he has some good gas. So I just couldn't believe it. I'm not used to, again, I'm used to this, but I'm not. I'm not used to the friendly vibes. Like even the CERT team happy, you dig? So anyway, I'm smoking. So while I'm smoking, just like he said, I'm gonna find out real soon what is what and who is who. Dudes come to my room. Boom, 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 boom. So as soon as he come in the room, it's about like 4 of them. They pushed up on me. But guess what it was? It was some Crips, some Bloods, some G's, some Muslims. It was probably like, I think it was about like, probably like 5 or 6 of them. And they told the white dude, hey, step out, we need to holler at him. So boom, he ain't asked no questions. He got up and told them part himself. And again, in prison, if you got to walk past somebody out of respect, you better say pardon self or excuse me. Because just walking past somebody and not saying those two, you would get your whole head spent. So all the feds, they come in the room and off top, hey, whoop, whoop, whoop. I already let them know what's up with me immediately. So once they found out what was what with me, you dig, 3 of the feds, they stepped out. And who I was rocking with, you dig, he asked me a couple of questions. And like, yo, I heard of your name. He said, but they call you Ghost? I'm like, yo, they call me Ghost or Gohar and shit. He said, oh yeah. He said, bro, I know who you is. So we go to wrapping it up. Boom. So he was like, hey, you got a phone? I said, yo, bro, I'm keeping 100 with you. I said, man, the white dude just gave me a phone. I was like, and he gave me something to smoke, as you can see. So I'm like, hey, hit that. So we go to smoking. So like, bro, you don't know who that is? I'm like, nah. He be like, man, that's Mike. That's White Mike, man. He said, man, bro, the plug here, man. He said, man, bro, look, they put you in the room with the right person. I'm like, well, let me ask you this. I'm like, what happened to his last roommate? They're like, man, he found out he wasn't rocking right, and he paid somebody to take his head off, and that's why he's not there. And keep it real, when I came in the cell, I seen some red specks on the wall, like they painted the room with this dude. You know what I mean? But this happened about like 4 days previous to me arriving at the camp. But I still see some blood specks on the wall. So we chopped it up some more, you feel me? He asked me, like he seen, like when he first seen me, he thought I was down bad because, like I said, my sack was small. When I came in there, I really ain't had nothing because Bob Austin still had my shit, you dig? But anyway, he like, hey bro, check this out. He said, come on to my cell. So I come to a cell, you feel me? Bro got shit. It don't look like no cell. It's like a little mini palace. He got, you know what I mean, a Super 2 radio playing, you know what I mean? He got carpet on his floor. Whole room smell like it's supposed to smell, you feel me? He got like 10 pair of sneakers under his bed. So, and this when I knew Dooley was sweet. In your facility, if you got more than one pair of sneakers, 9 times out of 10, when the inspection team come through, you dig, or the wrong person see them, they gonna take them. But as I said, when I went to sell, bro got like 10 pair of sneakers. He got all the latest J's. He got 2 pair of boots, you feel me? Shined up, and you know, bro is good. So he went to his box, he went in there, he gave me like 10 bars of soap, baby powder, baby oil, lotion, toothbrush holder, soap dish, and he probably gave me like 8 out of food. He like, family, that's good. I'm like, hell yeah, that's good, bro. I said, but bro, you know, I'm gonna get it. I get it how I live. He said, bro, look, you ain't got the, he said, bro, in here, we unified, we structured, you know what I mean? He said, we already know everything good with you. Like, they already knew I was coming to Dooley before I do. Like, it's all about politics. It ain't what you know, it's who you know. So they knew I was coming there, but bro who I'm talking to, he didn't know I was coming to his dormitory. But anyway, once bro showed me major love, you know what I mean? We dapped up and, you know, I bounced. He was like, you know what I mean? He said, bro, if you need something, just, you know, holler at me. He said, you gonna see me? He said, I'm out with the traffic. He like, you want a detail? I'm like, what? Hell yeah, I want a detail. So he like, yo, I don't get you a detail, probably gonna be today, but probably tomorrow, let me holler who I need to holler at. He said, where you wanna work at? And I'm like, shit, what type of jobs open? He like, man, look, bro. He said, we run this shit down here. He said, wherever you wanna work at, that's where I'm gonna put you at. So I'm like, okay. And me, I'm the type of person, I wanna get a job that I'm able to move. I don't want to get no job that I'm isolated. So I'm like, okay, sidewalk orderly, okay. Working in the hole, okay. The laundry. So I said, you know what? I said, put me in the kitchen. He said, nah. He said, hey, bro, hell nah. He said, bro, you don't want to go in the kitchen. I said, bro, you just said you going to put me where I want to go. I said, bro, put me in the kitchen. He said, you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. He said, all right, say less. He said, you'll be in by tomorrow evening. So we chopped it up a little bit more and then I left. Go back to my room. My roommate was like, hey man, everything all right? So I'm like, why you say that? He said, man, he said, bro, I'm gonna tell you. He said, but dude not rocking right, whatever he representing, he said, dude's gonna flip you like soon as they find out you're not rocking right. He said, well, I kind of see you good people because, you know, you ain't get flipped. I said, well, man, bro, I said, you know, I am who I am. So, we chop it up, we kick game. So he basically told me the do's and the don'ts and the wills and the wants of Sweet Dooley. He said, bruh, the only thing you got to do is be ready for inspection. He said, after inspection leave, anything and everything goes. So I'm like, all right, no doubt. So we chopped game a little bit. He said, man, look, bro, I'm about to get some rest. He said, I got to go to detail tomorrow. So I said, look, bro, I ain't trying to be in your video. I'm like, yeah, but where you work at? He said, I work everywhere. He said, close that door. So I closed the door and shit. He said, man, I normally don't tell people my business, but you know what I mean? You already past the verification stage and dudes know, who you are and shit. Like, he already knew, like, when he left from when the affiliates rushed my room, he went and asked a couple of elders in the dorm that rock with a couple of affiliates. He already asked him, man, is dude gonna survive? Like, he thought it was gonna get wetter because he didn't know what was going on, how they pulled up in the room. So he was like, man, look. He said, I'm just gonna say this. He said, you in the right room, man. He said, man, all you gotta do is chill and you're gonna be all right. I'm like, all right, say less. He said, what you like to do? I said, man, look, I like to lay back in the Maybach. You feel me? I like to get money. I like to do my time. I'm like, I'm not with the rah-rah shit, the unnecessary bullshit. You feel me? I said, I'm chain gang. He said, how much time you did? I think at the time I probably did like maybe 9 years, 8 or 9 years. He said, well, politics. I said, yeah, man. I said, I know all about politics. He said, I'm gonna tell you this. He said, when you need something, it don't matter what it is, let me know, and I get it done for you. So I'm like, all right, cool. So now I got one of my guys I got loyal ties to. He just told me this, and now White Mike just told me this. So I'm like, welcome to Sweet Dooley. So I just feel real good, man, about the whole situation, me being down here. So what took place? As time continued, they moved this wild ass dude in the dorm, and guess what he was? He was blood. Now, I got a lot of dudes that I rock with that's blood, you feel me? I got a lot of dudes I rock with that's Crip, that's GD, that's Muslim. When you don't have the proper grooming or you are a renegade, you're gonna act as a renegade. And this dude that came to the dorm, he was a renegade. So y'all watch this. When he come in the dorm, I couldn't really peep him, but I'm watching him. He just got the hole from doing a little time. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, they just transferred him, they just transferred him there from another camp. They put him in the hole because he had to complete his isolation time, and then they put him in population. So when homie came in the door, the dude name was Gangster. He was a blood affiliate, you feel me? And he was my homeboy from Jersey. The blood said that he was claiming, they call him Double I. That's a blood set from Jersey, you know what I mean? If you know, you know. But anyway, he come in the dorm. Off top, he go to throwing up shit, going to throwing up different signs, you did. And Bloods put up on him. Like, yo, da-da-da-da, so they chop it up, da-da-da-da. So they went in the room, they ducked off, and a little bit later, they come out. So now, everything is moving smoothly. Everybody eating. Everybody, like even the civilians, like the fragile white guys and the fragile black guys, they even got a little something because in chain gang, it's either you predator or you prey. It ain't no in between, or you better know somebody. Because if you don't know nobody, dudes will get at you. I don't care how tough you are. Like, if you make it through the cracks and chain gang, you don't get a scratch on you, you did good. That means you was on your grown man shit, you kept your head low, and you, know what I mean, did your time. But anyway, time continued, know what I mean? White Mike, my roommate, he had this confidence about him. Like, I can't count nobody's pockets and never will try to count nigga pocket, but I know he was worth a ticket. You know what I mean? I'm talking about close to at least $500,000. You feel me? Like, he was doing everything with the phones. He was working at 1 and 2 with the phone. He was scamming, you know what I mean? He was doing everything, you know what I mean? Everything as far as a hustle, he was doing it. And he put me on a lot of game. But anyway, maybe about like 3 days passed. And when Gangsta came in there, I didn't embrace him off top, even though that's my home team. You know, I'm gonna make sure he could get past protocol as far as make sure your paperwork right, making sure you're a real affiliate, you know what I mean? But this the thing. He was accepted. They accept him, but he was a renegade. And when you are a renegade, it don't matter what you are, the blue side, the red side, the black side, you wearing the kufi or whatever. If you renegading, you feel me, you basically living by your own rules and you're not following protocol. I'm just gonna say that. And Gangsta wasn't. So when I just, you know, eventually I stepped to him like, yo, what up, blood? So yo, what it be like? He like, yo, you blood? I'm like, nah, I ain't blood, homie, I shit. But you know, I said, I rock with y'all, you feel me? I said, yo, son, check this out, man. I said, yo, this not Jersey. And I said, bruh, this dormitory, they getting a lot of money and they got structure. I said, bruh, don't come here on that wild Jersey shit, man. I said, man, you need to conduct the case of accordingly. I said, man, look, blood business is blood business, crip business is crip business, Muslim, they do their thing, the G's do their thing. I said, bro, do not come here on that wild shit. Get what he said? Man, yo, you know, I'm chilling, know what I mean? I'm like, and the way he just looked at me, I could tell he was on the bullshit. So I said, yo, so I'm telling you and shit, man. I said, bro, breathe easy while you in here, man. I said, this is not that type of atmosphere, bro. I said, bro, you ain't got to get on no gangster shit. You ain't got to be on no wild shit. If you need, I said, yo, you got a phone? He like, nah, I ain't got one, but I'm going to get one. I said, see? I said, bro, nah, we ain't doing it. I said, yo, come to the room, man. So when he come in the room, I tell my room, I said, hey, White Mike, I said, yo, let me holler at my man right quick. So we step out, you feel me? And when he's walking by, my blood homeboy, he looked him up and down. So as soon as he walked out, I said, hey, bro, look, that ain't, I said, look, bro, whatever you thinking, I said, leave him alone, you feel me? Because, you know, this is one of my means of survival. He making sure I got everything that I need, you dig? But anyway, I sit him down, man. We roll up, we smoke one, and this what the thing was. Bro was going through some things, you feel me? He had lost a couple of family members to gang violence, you feel me? And bro was a little throw. And by me talking to him, I can tell. So I said, look, bro, look. I said, I know you ain't got no phone, right? But I said, anytime you need to get out there, you feel me, you come get my phone. I said, here you go. And he haven't came in contact with a touchscreen yet, you feel me? Like, touchscreens been in chain gang, I think, like, they got kind of popular in, I say, 2003, 2002, you feel me? So this like 2008, 2009. But he was used to flip phones, you feel me? So I get my phone, I'm like, yo, son, go watch some porn, go, whatever you gonna do. I said, bro, but when you come back, don't have no grease or no baby on my phone, bro. I said, clean my phone off, man, you know what I mean? Like, we chain gang, if you chain gang and you know you get your homeboy a phone, he not used to this, he gonna go to a porn site, you know what I mean? Or he gonna call his girl and, you know what I mean, do what he do. But anyway, he get the phone. So, when I step out, you got a Crip in the Blood, they standing there watching TV, and they called me over there. So I go like, what's up? He said, hey, bro. He said, that's your homeboy? I'm like, yeah, that's my homeboy. I'm like, why, what's up? He said, man, this the Blood who talked to me like, yo, he ain't gonna be in here long. I'm like, shit, what you mean? He said, you know, I'm gonna tell you, like, don't get too attached to him or give him your shit because he's not gonna be here long. He said, matter of fact, you probably just need to stay away from him. So I'm like, should I just get my phone? He said, well, bro, once you get it back, don't get it to him no more. So I'm like, all right, say less. Heed the advice. So a couple of hours passed, you know what I mean? My Blood homeboy, he brought the phone back. So I'm like, hey, yo, homie, you good? Him like, oh, hell. He said, yeah, I'm good, bro. So like, I could tell he done reached out to his family, you know what I mean, did what he did or whatever. But I can tell something's the matter with him. So I'm like, yo, sit down and talk with me, bro. So he went to talking, and that's when I found out when he was in Jersey, something happened, and he lost like 4 of his family members, and his set, they put a ticket on, they put the green light on him. You feel me? And again, politics, when, like, it ain't no running. If you do something and you repping something, it ain't hard. One phone call, that's all type shit, you feel me? So I'm like, man, look, Brace, he told me what he told me and shit, you feel me? And he was like, man, I know my time coming. But he wasn't going to debt. I'm like, I'm trying to get it out. I'm like, yo, what you mean your time coming? He said, man, bro, I ain't gonna be here. He said, I know I ain't gonna be in this camp long. He said, man, I can just tell how it's set up and built. I'm like, all right, say less, bro. So, you know, I went in my little weed sack I had, boom, threw him a little something, you know what I mean, probably 3-5, I don't know. And gave him some Bobby Brown, gave him some food. And which really, he really didn't need it because, well, he did need it because they not really fuck with him. They rocking him to sleep. And this is another thing, man. When you about to get it, you know, the people that you're around, they gonna rock a bye, baby. They gonna rock you to sleep, and you ain't gonna know it's coming, like real rap. But anyway, I gave him what I gave him, and he left. So as time continued, my roommate, he got me the job in the kitchen. I get in the kitchen, and it's going down in the kitchen. Like, dudes up there really putting on. Like, after they serve population, they back to making grilled cheeseburgers. They making sauteed tortillas. And, you know, like I said, they basically, the inmates run the kitchen. And I just, you know, when I got in, I just, you know, see what was going on, and I just adapted and adjusted what was going on. And everybody cool. The police that was working back there with us, the cooks, they cool. Everybody back there cool. So now, by me having a criminal mind when the line break down, yeah, but I'm trying to cuff a couple of things. So get with this kitchen lady story. So she started some, what are you doing? I said, ma'am. She said, what are you doing? I said, man, I'm just trying to, you know, take some stuff back. She said, look, you ain't got to do that. Tell some, look, whatever you want when this line break down, sure, you ain't got to try to steal it. So I'm like, okay. So, you know, I had grabbed me a couple of hamburger patties, a couple of, you know what I mean, some cheese, some bread, some lettuce, tomatoes, you feel me? And, you know, she said, come here. So we went to the back in the cooler. She said, look. She said, I can tell you new. She said, look, this is the only thing I'm going to tell you. She said, while you in here, only got a couple of rules. She said, don't disrespect me. She said, don't be saying reckless things around me, and do your job and you good. I don't care what you're doing here. You know what I mean? She said, you know where you at? I said, yeah, I've been told for the second time, but you tell me. She said, you at Sweet Dooley. So I'm like, okay, cool. She said, if you need something, she said, if you don't like your dormitory, Like, the way she talking, it shocked me. She said, well, if you don't like your dormitory, you know what I mean, I can get you moved. You know what I mean? I can move you to the kitchen dorm. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Like, I ain't about to leave from around my roommate, White Mike. You know what I mean? So we chop it up for about like 3-4 minutes. I grab a couple of boxes, take them out the storage room, and I take them up front, I guess, to prep the meal for the next day. So when we finish clean the kitchen, we leave. You dig? So I had got to the dormitory, and I told the CEO that was working, I said, hey, look, could you write me a call out? I need to go up front right quick. I'm trying to check my property. She said, okay, cool. Wrote me a call out. So I get up there. I'm not raising hell, but I want my stuff because it's some things in there that got sentimental value to me. I'd have had a long time, like my family pictures and shit. Like, I want my stuff. So when I get up there, you know what I mean, they were like, well, yeah, we see you been out for a couple of weeks, you feel me? It take a couple of weeks for you to get your stuff, but as soon as we get it, you know what I mean, we're gonna get it to you. I'm like, all right, okay, cool. So I leave. So when I get back to the dormitory, I just peep it in the air. I see dudes, you know what I mean, putting their flaps up. I see dudes with their sneakers and their boots tied extra tight. And if you chain gang, you can detect and you can peep when somebody go on. It's like, it's something you feel in the air, like you can smell it, you can sense it. So I go to my room, White Mike said, hey, where your phone at? I'm like, shit, it's under the bed. And this how sweet it was. Again, it ain't nobody like got their phone put up. The only time they put their phone up is really like when the inspection team come through. So like, he said, give me your phone. He said, man, take the battery out and put a piece of paper with a battery and the phone connect. So I did that, give my phone. He said, hey man, it's about to go down. So I'm like, what's up? He said, man, I'm still in the room. He said, you going out there? I'm like, shit, if it ain't concerning none of my people, I'm not going out there for what? So he said, okay, well, she said, close the door. And one thing about Mike, he was kind of smart. Like, he knew his position. He's a civilian, you feel me? And he's showing love to all the affiliates. And ain't nobody fuck with him, and ain't nobody gonna let nobody fuck with him unless it come from a hierarchy, you dig? Because sometimes, you know, money don't mean shit. When that call come in, it don't matter who you are, what you rep. If that call come from that right guy, it's finito. Your ass gonna go more than on the door. You feel me? But anyway, we closed the door. So, you know, I'm not trying to be nosy, but I want to see who about to get blowed out. So Mom look, I said, hold up. I pop the door, I said, y'all be right back. I go down there holler with my bros and shit. I'm like, yo, bro, everything good? So they're like, oh, bro, we good. You ain't nothing going on this way. And she said, you good? I'm like, yeah, no doubt. He said, okay, well, look, bro, you probably want to the big floor and shit. So I went back to the room. Man, my man, gangster, man, he coming in the salad port. Even don't keep it 100. I ain't even gonna say the police knew what's going on, because one thing I know about real affiliates, you dig, you're not gonna like if you know, you know. It's certain things you don't tell people, give them hints of nothing. But it felt like the police that work in the dorm, I guess she sensed it. When she popped him in, she put some pep in her step and went straight in the salad port. So as soon as gangster come in, I hear the Bloods, they gave a call, and you know, they was on that dude, man, like honeybees on honey. Like, and it was, how they did it, man, it was crazy. Like, you had dudes coming out the shower, like they got clothes on, but they had the shower curtain pulled, because gangster's cell was right by the shower. So by the time he walked past them, they done came by the shower and they went to gunning them down, you feel me? And that was just 3 of them. You know what I mean? You got dudes coming from the right. They went to gunning them down. And, you know, I don't keep it real. Gangster wasn't no coward. He tried with a capital T. He tried to fight back, but when the numbers are stacked against you, there's only so much you can do. You did. But anyway, they poured him out, man. Like, sad to say, they poured him out. And they could have unalived him, but one of the big homie in the dorm, he gave her a call, and, you know, they just stopped. And, you know, Gangster, he crossed the cell, and real rap, he had enough energy and power. Like, I'm looking at him, and it kind of hurt me because, again, it's my homeboy, but when it come to things like this, that homeboy shit go out the door. You feel me? He crawled to a cell and slammed the door. The female that was working the dormitory, she eventually called the code, and instead of the CERT team running down there, the CERT team walked down there, and they came to the dormitory, like, hey, man, y'all already know what to do, man. Y'all locked down. What cell are you in? And, like, they was, like, total nonchalant about it. Like, real rap. That's a Finny fact. So until next time, until next story, until next journey, y'all hold it down, man. Keep it real in the field. Y'all know the motto. Salute. Stay tuned. Coming right back at you.